Hello and welcome back to a very special edition of the Simply Cup, because this week we have maps made by yours truly, Nick Bangers, because they are absolute bangers. Like, look at this design. This is fantastic. Look how good this is. This is a fantastic track right here. I think this is going to be amazing. So there is 10 maps I've made. I was hoping that I was going to be in order, but obviously not. But it should run through properly. If you don't know, 1 minute warm-up, then 3 rounds on each map. And as I said, there is 10 maps, winner at the end of it. So hopefully everyone can finish most of these. There's some definitely harder maps, but let's see how Techie does it to start off here. He is in 3rd position, does get it well, but will get the penalty, which sometimes makes you not be able to make this jump. But he is nailing it so far. Goes this right side checkpoint, one of the only people, and does find a fast line through the poles. So that is really good from him, and gains a few positions, but goes for the risky jumps and will slow down a bit. Let's have a bit of an overview. I'm going to check a lot of the drone camera this time, because these maps are a bit wild. Lots of people still at the beginning, but we have this interesting middle section where you have a lot of speed through the ice, and if you have too much, you will slide out into as someone throws their car straight into the barrier there. But it is Elcon in first, Techie I think in second, no, it is Thomas in second, Jay in third. What a fantastic map we have here. This is what we love to see. Waiting in the loading for 2 minutes. Yeah, I'm sorry if there's issues with loading, if there's crashes. I can't do anything about it. We're just here for a bit of fun. So, sorry if it does happen. It is just how it is. But yep, let's check the full camera here on Kip right now. So we have 2 red boosters. Kip does that very well. Few people hitting the top of the checkpoint. Didn't even know that was possible. Kip going to the moon. Good strategy, keeping it safe, but hopefully he doesn't land in the middle here. No, that is a good line. You can see people like Tourist and Jay out in front, but was that Jay falling off? I don't think so. As we see him just ahead. So Kip doing pretty good, top 10 here. We have a slow motion. It's a bit hard to control your drift because it's an all of a sudden slow motion. So Kip sliding out a little bit, does make it to the checkpoint, which is good. Let's find some other players. Mostly everyone is in this middle section of the track. Who is getting up to the first? It is Techie. No, it's Mime. Just out in front. Lars, I think, overtook Techie at the end there with that wall bang. So it is a very rare occurrence that you can get the sausage box perfectly, and you can gain a lot of positions from it. As you can see, literally everyone is bonking their head to the sides. We have 5 seconds left. Can we make it? A lot of people do, but few people missing out. So after 2 rounds, Techie, Thomas out on top, Jay doing very well. Let's have a look at Jay's style. Let's see, the man, the myth. Gets that wall bang really good. And he get the height here really quickly. So one thing to note, there is a few people who have seen the maps, which I usually don't show the maps before this competition. But I did build the maps live, so that is sometimes a small advantage for those who follow my channel a bit closer, as it is a competition for our community. But I think it's still a lot of fun, and let's see, a few people a bit further back maybe. Nizy is in 15th, I think. The checkpoints are struggling a little bit. Gets that first ice section really good though, and gets the next drift very safe, very nicely. Bonks into the side, as we know and love, and then follows it through with a rapid red booster, but doesn't get the wallbang penalty, and I think he overtook 2 people there. That is really good to see. But a lot of people getting to the end now. I think it took a few players a bit of time to catch or learn the map maybe. So we will have a lot of DNFs, including Thomas there. That's not good for him. And we have Lars out in first after the first map. But we have a bit of a Papega map to start off, but then we have a banger of a map here. This is a solid map. This will be very close by the end as well. So some good maps, some bad maps, some differentiated maps. So I tried making a bit of everything. Unfortunately, for some beginner players, it is a little bit tough, but hopefully it's still very enjoyable. I must say, it's very enjoyable to watch so far. So, onwards to map number 2. Let's find Falco to check out this map in the warm-up. I added some respawns straight off the bat in all the maps, because as we've seen from previous Simply Cups, there's a bug. If you respawn before the first part, it does foul you and put you at the finish. Apparently, that has been fixed. But even so, I didn't want to trust it, so I've put the respawns straight off the bat. So Falco did find that there's a bit of a height change in that wall right there, but I'm sure he'll learn that for next time. Shroopy coming through. Hits the side a bit, but the thing with this map is that it's quite speedy by the end if you get it really well. So there is some definitely difficult, precise corners which you want to get right. This map can be played entirely full speed. If we see that in the live rounds after a short warm-up, though, is the next question. Let's have a look at Hent here, see what he does to start off with. Doing really well so far. In 50th, there's a lot of players this time. There's 60 players, which is nice to see. And it does bonk the side slightly, but hopefully it can still make it towards the second wall right here. But it is Kip getting a very tall jump, but is finding himself in 20th. Let's maybe move up to the top. It is Techie out in first. Elcon is a little bit behind. Everyone in the first 3 positions does find themselves the right amount of speed, and it gets it very smooth to the end. Spam a little bit behind, and SRK getting 5th. So this is definitely a bit more of a friendly map. As Spam talks about my campaign, which you guys should definitely check out in my club. And because I actually liked this map so much, I think this will become a campaign map in the future, once I release my second campaign. That's for another day. And we have Yuzura here in 30th. Gets it a little bit fast, but does hit that grass. You really want to avoid these grass patches. It does slow down quite a bit, and you might miss the smoothness of this next jump. What about Wart here? Gets it really low, so he does have to release a bit to make sure he doesn't bonk. But is finding himself in 20th. That's not too bad. How about Thomas? Finding a lot of speed. Can he catch all the way up, actually? Looks like he's got more speed than the top 5 here. But does roll out a little bit. But still a 5th position. That's pretty good. Navron AFK for some reason. Scrat's a little bit behind this round in 42nd. Alrighty, so most people being able to finish. There's a few DNFs. Actually, I don't think there's any DNFs. Oh, there's one person right at the end there, just missing out. So, very fair map, I think, I've made here. Let's have a look at Spam, who has been absolutely acing this map. I think if he said that this should be a campaign map, he really likes this one. As you can see, following through really well. This is how to get it smooth. Can you get a really low jump here? I haven't been checking out the top positions, but it would be interesting to see if people go the risky, really low jump, but potentially bonk that corner. Jay is somehow turtled. I don't know how he has managed that, as we are trying to spectate a few people up the front. Finally moving up there. Spam with a very decent run. 39x there. The leaderboard is not handling it, so Tourist in second. Iotto in third. So we have a few people a bit further behind this time. I still want to know how Jay managed to flip there. That is a mystery to me. But we have 5 seconds remaining. A few more DNFs this round, unfortunately. But most people getting through. JMJ, one of the DNFs that pushes him down quite a lot after the decent performance on map number 1. Of course, Cam. When we meet up in PAX 2021, it's gonna happen. So what will map number 3 be here? It is, oh, this is a fantastic map. Some of the best maps are the maps I make in about 1 minute. Here we go. Fantastic. This is a plus right here. You cannot get more prime mapping than this. This is a banger. So most people should be able to finish here because you can full respawn if you somehow fall off. But we have a fantastic left, right chicane. As we see someone already failing. Let's get the low camera here. Look at this snake. It's just beautiful. I love this. Is just a beautiful watch. We don't need to even commentate. Elkhorn and Thomas out in first for this warm-up, and that is it. Quick as anything. So have 30 seconds overtime for the warm-up. But if there's anyone DNFing this, I'm going to be surprised. But it will be interesting to see who can really take a full risk on this and then get that fast time. As Splatia is doing it very safe with a very decent run there. I like it. Game crash? Yeah, I'm sorry about the crashes. I can't do too much about it. Right, let's see if we can get onto Zemus here for this first round. Doing it quite decent. Gets a bit of a slowdown. I think he got a bit of a wonky landing there. Only a second behind. As he is catching up a few positions now that people are trying to risk it. Or Zemus actually getting this end really good. But here we go. It is Elkhorn getting first as far as I can see. With a decent run. Don't think I saw any mistakes from those top players, but it is Mime who has DNF, so I think Mime must have crashed. That's really unfortunate if he did. That is really, really sad. Mime definitely a contender to get the top positions here. But let's check out Elkhorn with a low line at the start there. Look how much extra pace he has. That is a really good line from him. Let's drop back a little bit to Ioko. Getting it decently safe. And getting a secure top 15 there. Beautiful run. And it is Elkhorn with that start tactic. Getting himself 120 points. Lars not doing so good this round. I think he must have got a bit of a wobbly landing or something. And it is Spam and Thomas gaining on that round. As we move to the final one on this one here, let's have a look at someone new, Yuke here. It is possible to join. Feel free to join. Yuke finding himself in 5th here, I think. Gets a bit of a release in that second last one. But playing it safe, playing it very fast, and gets a top 5. That is a very good run from him. But Thomas with an outstanding run there. That is a really fast time. Tourist only just behind him as well as Elkhorn. That was a really close top 3. And there we have it. Very simple, very effective map, I think. I like it. So, Techie still out in first by a considerable margin as well. Hopefully, the maps aren't a bit of a shock to him, as we have our smiley face one. This is a good map. Okay, I think I've outdone myself with this map here. I got really creative on this one. Alright, let's see who can spectate for the warm-up. Let's have a look at Cryptox here. So, it is a full circle, and who will get it the cleanest? So you can get the rings if you do full bonk, but I don't think it's faster to go through any of them after the ring CP. So the people who can get the cleanest slide will definitely get the best points here. So we have 2 laps, one of the only multi-lap maps I made. I think I think that's next edition, but I only made it 1 lap because it can be sometimes a little bit difficult to spectate if you make more than 1 lap. But this is a very simple one here, so let's go and watch Mr. Lights for map number 1 here, or round number 1. So let's see if he can really get there. You can see those people going for those zigzag does get a little bit more speed off the start, which is a very small but effective tactic. Varel there trying the booster, so he does gain a lot of speed, but will he get the ring? He is getting the ring. That's really good pace from him. Not sure if I can find him in time, but he gained a lot from that, so maybe a cheeky shortcut, we're not sure. As we have a beautiful backflip right there. I'm not sure who it was. As we once again have Techie and first going to the ring. Is Mime sniping? No, he is not. That is a very close run by the end. So Techie is a keyboard player. So people cannot complain if this is a pad map, because Techie is absolutely rocking it right now. So Mime in 10th position, getting some decent points. Maybe we'll see him move up a little bit. But most people in that top 10 there staying or getting a top 10 overall in that round. So let's have a look at Alex here for round 2. Gets it very smooth. I don't think he went for the wiggle, but is finding himself with a lot of pace here in that 14th position. A few people going wide, missing that. Some of it isn't an even turn, so you can't just stick it to one angle. Some of them are early, some of them are late. As you can see by this one is a very far out one, and then this here is a bit sharper. So Techie, Elcon, Mime having a good battle. Once again, 3 names we keep saying, but it is Tourist. Speaking of Tourist there, does bonk that ring. That is really not good for him. I think he was trying to risk that final section, but does not pay off this time. Turbo trolling, going around the other way, but pretty much the entire field does manage to finish here, which is good to see, as the smile is upon us. Hent just getting in at the end there. Alrighty, let's see who we can find. Viru, you're up. How is his start? Let's see if he goes for the wiggle. He is, and look how much pace he gets. You can see those people falling behind. He does find himself in first, actually, but misses that first corner a little bit and goes extra wide on that second one. That's not what you want. So let's move up to the top of the field here. His Mime takes a bit of a... I'm not sure if he bonked or had to just release there. That's not good for him. And we do have a new player, Bibera. I'm not sure who that is. Coming in 4th right now. That is very good from him. Getting it really smooth nearly. Well, that's 4th final ring. But Techie and Elcon having the battle of the century. Who's it going to be? How close was that? 8,000th of a second. Jesus. These two are just connected. I cannot believe it. But it is Agoto, Biber, Turus, and Zemus to round off top 6 there. And it is Lars and Thomas not picking up that many points this round, so that will definitely move those players around. As we can see, Turus gaining a lot from that one. Spam moving down to 9th. Will you make new mats for the cup every week? I do have a few stacked and ready. But I think we'll have some random additions sometimes. But I was in a mapping mood, so that's why we have some maps ready. But here we have one of our speed maps, which could be a little bit difficult. Hopefully most people being able to finish. There is respawns routes as well, so if people do struggle a little bit in this warm-up, maybe you can find those respawn routes. But let's continue following Jay. It's a bit of a slower start, but he's now finding the pace a bit as we go into our RGB tunnel, because we are gamers, we love RGB. And we have the Mega Wall Ride, which I think is the big concern if it's going to be a bit tough or not. Jay going for a different strategy there. Yes, that is definitely how I intended this to be. Fantastic. But you are supposed to corkscrew that. And then you have this reactor ending to the finish line. He is also locked into the... Jesus. What is Jay doing right now? This is what we live for. Jay is just finding the different strategies that no one else. He is big braining it up right there. But I don't think it's going to be faster by the end. As we follow Turbo for this first round. Goes for the inside line. I did make it slightly wider on that right side, because I think it is quicker. As Turbo just misses that edge there. A few people getting the clip a little bit high. So, a few people dropping down there. And it is Jay now out in the top few positions. Proving me wrong. But let's keep the eye on Nizey in the middle of the pack. 13th, not too bad. Goes for a bit of a lower jump. So it doesn't gain as much speed as Katabu there. Katabu opts for the right side. And we have our flying charge straight into the finish. So it is Lars that time picking up his shoulder after that mistake in last map, and finds himself a first position. Ayokto, Yuke, Viber, Elcom, and Jay to round off top 6 there. Couple DNFs, but most people being able to finish. Techie and Elcon still out in top 2. Let's have a look at Shroopy here. So, if you do get the Zoop, the start correct, you can get a small Zoop. As Elcon finds a mistake there, so not sure if he was trying a shortcut, or if he just had a lot lower speed, so he wanted to snipe the boosters, but that is not good in terms of points for him. As Nizey was out in first, but drops himself very far. Tourist doing quite decent now, as we have Biber coming into the final shot. There is a couple trees. I could have been really rude here and added a lot of trees, but didn't want to make it too bad right at the end. I wanted to reward people who could learn the map quite quickly. And we have Viber, Techie, Lars, Ayokto still getting decent positions. So most people being able to finish once again. And just missing out. Let's have a look at Artuvo for this one. See how he does the start. So as I was talking about, there's the Zoop if you land straight here. As you can see, gets a little bit of speed for the rest of the map. Unfortunately, Artuvo misses it out slightly. And we also have a sound bug for some reason. Thanks, game. Artuvo, though, in 30th, not doing too bad. Couple people bonking. That's definitely not what you want. Wanted to follow through it nicely. I gave quite a lot of space for people to land this, as Artuvo does the backflip but then hits the side of the ring there. That is not good, or the checkpoint. Elcon trying the leftmost finish and does cost himself a little bit of a couple positions there because he bonks aside. That's not quite good, as we have a freestyle 0. I'm not sure if he landed. Yeah, he didn't land in the finish. That would have been quite a sick finish. Jay coming in quite late. Zooping with that lot of speed. And we only have 2, 3, 4 DNFs that round, I think. So not too bad of a map. Techie way out in front by 160 points, I think. Not too bad by him. Missed the finish on 2 good runs. Yep. A lot of these maps are made, so hopefully they're fairly easy, but there is some difficult parts as well. As we have our wildcard map here. This will be an interesting one. I think this will cause a lot of DNFs. It can be very consistent if you know what you're doing, but they only have a minute to find out. Let's have a look at Spam. I think this won't suit Spam that much, as he is a more all-round player, but if you can control the car well, it can definitely benefit you, as he does air brake. I'm sure he'll probably air brake the second one. No, he goes for the counter steer. Gets a bit of a wonky landing, so we'll full respawn. I put a lot of checkpoints here, so hopefully you can still get it quite decent. Does manage to get that air brake really nicely. Pulls it through with the counter steer. And gets this second to last backflip. Actually third last. There's a bonus one. And we have the mega one right at the end there. Spam going for a release strat. And then to the final time. I does find that sneaky little cut. I did not do anything about this. I knew that there was a cut, but there is a red booster. So is it worth it? Is it not? I think we will have a couple people trying. So Spam, not too bad of a warm-up. Does find himself through the whole map. Other than the final one. But we watch Big Boy Gandhi getting a bit of a roll. So probably will have to full respawn. He does manage to make it all the way. Let's move to Lars now. It's quite a far distant landing. Techie and Mime Spam out in the first few positions. Or landing, but Techie, excuse me, gets a really bad landing, so doesn't manage to get the roll correct. Mime, Spam, and Lars doing very decently there. Let's find someone slightly further back so we can see this final part. Uke in fourth. I think you could go for the cut here. Does not. Opts to go very safe. Goes pretty high in the sky. But it is Lars and Mimes both falling over. Spam also landing over as tourists. Sniping that ending. This is what happens. You've got to release and land it very smooth. So lots of people going dead turtle right at the end there. So we have a bit of a freeze. But quite a few players coming through now. Don't see it saying it isn't fully respawnable. It certainly is fully respawnable. I made sure all my maps, at the very least, were respawnable. So let's have a look at Scratz this time. Gets the side jump, which you certainly don't want, and does have to restart. Alec also having to restart. Turbo gets a bit of a wonky landing. Opts for a safe release. That is good stuff from him. As we find those who does crash on the side. Can Turbo get this landing? Well, he does. On to the next backflip. Spam in first. Lars right behind. Jay actually doing well once again. So let's keep the camera on Turbo here as he does move up to the top 6 positions. But this is where it might mix it up a little bit. Turbo's going to get a really good landing though. Opts for a very safe drift. And then we have the final part. Elcon gets a dead landing. Jay dead. And it is Spam sniping through the middle. Lars coming in hot. And it is Tourist with 3rd place again. Or getting a top 3 again. That's very good from him. So that move him up quite a lot. If Techie and Ike Toko here doesn't get a finish. Oh, Techie does manage to finally get it. Octo, I think, was trying the shortcut and does fail. So this is a very big mix-up of the field right here. Let's have a look at Biber for this final round. Carlos getting a bit of wonky landing. Most people opting for that air brake, which is the good strat on the first one. Jay and Yuke getting a massive jump there. Turbo with a bit of extra speed, finding himself in first. But Weber doing decently here. As always, I'm sorry if I pronunciate your names wrong. I'm just trying to think of it on the fly, so don't mind me. But back to the match. It is Weber in 6th there, but opts for a massive jump and gets this drift really well. Let's actually go for the overview camera. Can he land it? He's got a good nose down here, so this is looking like a possible first if no one in the top 3 positions landed, but everyone seemingly working out the roll this time. Mime, Tourist, Elcon around the top 3. So a big wildcard map here. A couple people struggling at the back. I wouldn't say this is a very easy map. I haven't made all the maps like super simple because I want to see quite a mix-up of the styles and maps here. So a couple minuses. I don't know how you could possibly think that. This was an absolute banger of a map. But we go to map number 1, which should have been first, but thanks Nado for not being the correct order. So this is probably the best map, or maybe the second best map. We've seen one of the best maps that I did make for this pack. I think this could be a very close one. Where can I send complaints about the ending? Jay, you just gotta get good. Remember, all you guys just say to me, just get good. So I think you just need to get good. It just really be like that sometimes. But let's have a look at Navron, who I haven't really seen much of and is finding himself in 21st there. That is pretty good. And we have a few people finding something which I added intentionally to the map. It is Techie way out in front, but I think a lot of people will find that he is so far in front. And let's see if people can work it out. Everyone getting the jump here. Gets a bit of a wild drift, so does have to restart, but that's why there's a bit of extra warm-up. And thank you for all the follows. I do appreciate it. It does really help out. If you're on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. It is totally free. And if you haven't checked out the vice versa, come hang out on Twitch. Go check out the YouTube. It's all happening. But we have the first round on map number 1, which I think is map number 6 here, but that's alright. Let's check out Atuvo. Does get a bit of a bonk. So what about Agron? He's finding himself in the top 10 position here. That is pretty good. But will he go for the shortcut? A couple people finding it there. And it is Taurus, Mime, and Zero way out in front compared to the rest of the pack. They seemingly have a little bit less speed other than Mime, who is way out in front here on an absolute limer of a run. That is a good time by him if he doesn't bonk the ending. And I think we see one bonk right at the end there. That's unfortunate for those players. There is a safe finish if you can't manage to make this one. But it is Mime, Tourist, Lars, Iocto, Thomas, Uke, Scratz, and Turbo. That bonk was me. Oh no, Spam. How has that done for your points there? 79 points still, not too bad. So, Spam still in 7th place. Alrighty, we have the camera on Uke. Following through pretty well. Bit of a slower, wider start, but that's fine. I think Uke will opt for the cut here. Does go this left side, and we find a lot of people going for the shortcut. Spam being one of them. Is it his redemption to be in first there? Let's change to Techie and in 3rd place. Mime, I'm not sure, is a little bit behind, so not too bad. But who is going to bonk this finish here? We have the full camera over. Oh, Techie getting very lucky there. And we have a few bonks. The absolute banger of a finish. I think people are trying to risk it, getting a bit of a lower jump, but not quite for the lowest finish there. So Scrat's unable to find the cut there. That is not good for him, but is in a 7th position, which is not too bad. Uke not getting that many points. Octo also doing a bit worse that round. We have one more round on this one. Let's follow Mime, who has been getting this cut decently. Does get a small bonk, still out in top 15. Gets the cut really well, as a few people get a bit of that wobble, which is part of the risk of getting the loop cut. Mime opting for a very low jump here, and will find himself with a bit more speed. There is a couple boosters, but it doesn't always give you the best angle. And it is Elcon now finding himself in first. Who will it be? Techie, Spam in the 3rd and 4th. And it's Spam once again hitting that finish. He is not going to be happy with that one. He's even noted it, and he still gets the full bonk. That is not good from him. But we have Hent very on. I think he made that there. And it will be Techie and Elcon gaining a lot from that one. I think Tourist also did quite decently. But Spam, is he still in the top positions? I think he would find himself in 8th still. The bonk is too real, yep. I've done these on purpose. You can hate me for it, I don't mind. But we have Techie, nearly 200 points ahead of Tourist, doing very well. 20 points different between Tourist Lars, and then 90 points, and then 100, and then quite a close battle for the next 4 positions there. And then another quite a few big point changes, but let's have a look at this warm-up here. Got a bit of a mixed map. Once again, a little bit of a speedy map. Obviously, I was in the mood to build speed, but should be a decent one. Couple people getting a drift off the ice. Gotta remember that short one. Couple people straight into the red booster, but that is for the respawn. But is it going to be worth it? Some of these boosters might be able to be cuttable. And then we have a bit of a wacky finish. A few variety of different finishes people can get. Not sure which one is faster, because if you go for the low jump and try and finish the closest finish, you might lose a bit of speed. So maybe you want to go to a wider, later finish with more carrying your speed more throughout. So quite a few things to look out for in this one. This will be quite interesting. Let's have a look at map to start off round number 1 here. Gets the ice pretty decently, does oversteer a little bit. Techie out in first, couple people falling off that side. No one opting for the loop cut, which I don't think is worth it anyway. No one going to the right there, but there is someone going for that red booster. It is Techie. Look how much extra speed he has. That is a mega amount of speed. Someone trying a cut down to the checkpoint there, but you have so much speed, I didn't think it was ever going to be worth it. Let's follow Lars here. A couple of people going for that left side finish. Lars going for the middle ones. Does finish in 4th. As we have a variety of different finishers right here. Elcon, however, in first with a decent time, 0.5 ahead of Mime. And then Thomas, Lars, Varian, Techie. Not sure what happened to Techie. He had that in the bag with that cheeky little red booster shortcut, but maybe could not control the speed for the rest of the map. Alrighty, who have we not watched? Let's have a look at Cheerful Fennec, a fellow Australian, as he does bonk at first sight. It's actually tactical. He told me that he was going to do that, and he said it's going to give me a better angle for this lineup here, and look how many positions I am gaining. But let's see if anyone goes for this red booster strat. There are quite a few people now, including Veru there a little bit further back. So that's good from him. And look how much Mime is gaining with that red booster cut. He's lagging a little bit, but does control this red booster really nicely. And who will be in first? It is Techie. does get it really well. And I think Spam also opting for that red boost. I did see that Zemus and Turbo also went for the red boost strat, so definitely worth it. There are a couple people struggling, but for the most part, pretty much everyone finishing this round. So that is still very good for Techie, as a few of the top players actually struggling on this one, which is quite interesting, I guess, because of the mix of surfaces. Maybe it is a little bit hard to control. Let's have a look at Dansky for this final round here. Just grazes that edge there. That's quite unfortunate. I thought he managed to miss it. Alright, gets a bit of a clip as well, so that's not good. Let's have a look at all the people going for the red boost. Spam actually doesn't this time. So, can he keep his first position? Mime only a little bit behind him, but looks like Spam does control it. Mime opting for the low jump, but doesn't pay him off very well this time. And it will be Spam with a dominant performance there, staying in first the entire race. And who do we have in the next few positions? It is Lars and Thomas. So a lot of the top 10 there doing a lot better this round, other than you getting 26 points. Turbo Zemus also struggling a little bit there. But we move on to the next map. Techie with a very dominant performance, 200 points ahead now. That is very good from him. So we have a long loading time for quite a short map here. And there is something spicy that I've put in here. So let's see if people will get it in the live round. But a very simple at its core. So we should have pretty much everyone finishing. There are some safe finishes at the end of the finish if you do miss that as well. We have Lars, Uke, and Turris out in first here. Getting some wobbly landings. But our favorite part of the map is going to be right here. We have some absolute banging bumps here on the dirt. So who is going to get a bad roll? Who is going to get the spicy flip very quick? So this one will be quite interesting to see. I might keep the drone camera up for this one for the first round, because this could make or break a lot of players getting this either really good or really bad. So we move on to the first round here. Hello Matt, you are quite late. I mean, there's 1 or 2 more rounds if you want to join for the final, but it does start an hour ago. Right, let's have a look at Thomas here. Getting the up and down quite well. Gets a bump and through very tight, but gets a bit of a taller landing, or a higher landing. Opts for the left right, and who will get this jump? Thomas and Techie straight on the air brake. Thomas getting the unfortunate landing penalty there. And it will be Techie and Spam which benefit from that. So that was unfortunate there. But that is what happens with these speed bumps. As we have a lot of Dunkerinis right at the end there. And it says he went from 50th to 31st. So lots of people struggling on this one. Elcon not finishing. What happened to Elcon? Did he have a crash? He is in the game, so that is not good for him, unfortunately. Moves down to 6th position. Turbo and Elcon, however, out in first right now. So let's actually get the pre-ready camera out. Who will get it the fastest? If you get this really well, look what will happen. Yes, there we go. It is. I can't read it. I think it's Elcon who got the flip really decently. And Elcon opts for a lower landing but misses the ring. And he doesn't get first out of that. That is not good for him. And it is a few players opting for that low jump, missing out. So Elcon does find this spicy tactic in this one where you can get this with a lot of extra speed. Hit the top of this and then get a flip straight in. But does try and do the risky finish and does miss. So unfortunate for him, still picking up 58 points, which is not that bad, but does move down quite a lot as Spam is really gaining on this one. Thank you so much, Lent, for that resub, dude. That's very kind. Sorry my alerts are off. They are a bit bugged at the moment for some reason, but you did see the new animation at least. Thank you so much for the resub. But let's have a look at the full camera this time. And let's see who can get it. Spam, I think, going full send, and he gets the flip really well. Techie and Mime also getting it. But who will drop in first? Who gets the dunk? Spam on target. Spam in 4th place, dropping a couple of positions actually. Techie with the lowest jump, still dominating the pack. So that is a really quick and fun map. And most players being able to finish there. How about the points? It is Techie just absolutely dominating. Lars in 2nd, Tourist in 3rd, Spam in 4th. There is a 200 point difference, so I think we have our top 3 secured. But if that wasn't all, we have Ice. So this map wasn't supposed to be one of the last maps, but here we have it towards the end, and let's see if it mixes up the field. Also, I forgot to say, someone in chat said Elcon said in chat that he kept respawning to the start. That is quite unfortunate. I guess it happens, unfortunately. But let's have a look at Jay for this full ice map, or pretty much full ice map. I have left quite a lot of room, so hopefully most people should be able to finish. But it could be quite a difficult one for those who aren't too great on ice. Jay, however, is from Finland, so I expect lots from him as he gets the speed of that first drift. That's good to see. And speaking of Elcon from earlier, he is finding himself in first for this warm-up. Spam getting that drift really well. You can drift on that one, and you gain a little bit of that extra speed, so Jay just missing out on that edge, and it gets the downhill well. If you follow through with the right drift, as Jay does get it, you can follow it all the way down the hill. So I think this map isn't too bad. I hopefully made it quite open for players who maybe aren't as great on ice. So we do move on to the live round here. Let's find out who gets it the best. Let's have a look at Raikkoon here. How is he going? It's a bit of a wider landing, but still gets it well, as someone does flip there. I'm not sure who that was. Raikkoon getting that drift, but does have to release off of it. Finding himself in 30th, 8th here. It's not too bad, but gets this second drift really well. That's good stuff from him. Gains a few positions and follows through with a lot of extra speed. Let's move up to maybe the top of the field to find out who was out first. We had a chat bet that Elcon would dominate here, and he does find himself in first. Hopefully people don't bonk into the finish edges, however. That would definitely not be good. But it is Elcon, Thomas, Lars, and Ali getting top 4 there. And pretty much everyone does manage to finish. I'm glad about that. Really, Piz? Oh, that fucking sucks, man. Yeah, it's a pain, the bugs in this game, man. I was building a map just before this, and we had so many bugs. Like, it's just so sad. Right, Shrooper getting a bit of a bonk on that top checkpoint there, and nearly managed to save it, but does counter steer the wrong way. and pushes himself into the wall. So does have to respawn. Let's move up to VLK here. Find out how is he going. Gets a bit of a slower drift. Loses a couple positions, so that's not what you want. Let's have a look at the drone camera though. Elcon finding himself in first, but I think it's Mime with the battle of the century right here. Who's going to take it? I think it's Elcon just out in front. As we have... Oh, this is a beautiful sight. We have 63 players. Thanks for everyone for joining today. Hopefully you are enjoying the maps. But once the leaderboard does settle, here we go. Elcon in first, Thomas, Mime, Techie, Lars, Jay, Strats, and Ictoko. A lot of regulars, but it is Tourist and Spam not getting a lot of points there. So, as I said, I think the top 3 is pretty secured, but we have a lot of movement down from 4th to 8th here. So, this will go down to the wire. Let's have a watch Azimus as he gets it the start really well. Lars getting quite a quick drift, Techie as well. Zemus opting for an early drift. Spam also getting it. Spam the only one picking up a little bit of extra speed from the rest of the pack here. Can he gain those final few positions? Canaboo doing quite well, but it is Elcon, Techie. Thomas had to full release there, and Spam does not make it. That hurts. That is a bit of a rough one. I thought he should have landed that. I saw him go through that finish line there. That is quite sad from Spam, as the chat does find that quite entertaining, but that was a bit of pain from the host right here. So there we go. It is Techie absolutely dominating, 200 points ahead, but there we have it for the first Nick edition of the Simply Cup. And it is Techie 200 points ahead. That is a very dominant performance. Well done from him. Lars, Tourist to round off top 3. Elcon nearly catching up there. Maybe if he didn't have that buggy round on the second last map, would have caught up a bit. Thomas, Octo, Spam, Mime, Nizy, and Scrats just sniping out Uke right at the end there. But thanks for those who played. Hopefully you enjoyed. That was 10 of Nick's bangers right there. And until next time, hopefully you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye bye.